Evening, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the ERC Masters Series, Season 14, Round 11 here at the Hungary Ring in Hungary. Excuse me, bit of a wisp in my throat there. We're looking down on the paddocks and it looks like a nice sunny day here in Hungary. We have 15 drivers on the grid tonight, and we're getting very, very close to the end of season. Just 4 rounds to go, including tonight. And I'll give you the rundown on the league positions, both drivers and constructors. But tonight on the track in the Red Bull, we have got Bird. In the McLaren, we've got Pivot, Ferrari, Bushpig, and Aston Martin Snugfit. In the Mercedes, we've got Scar and Captain Morgan. And in the Alpine, we have Business Casual and Rank. Blunt is the only driver in the Cash App Racing Bulls. We've got PDMB and Liam Marvin in the Williams. In the Sauber, we've got MK7, Find Waldo. And then in the Haas, we have EXO and Rookie. So just waiting for your one-shot qualifier before we have 70 laps of racing here at Hungary. Looking down on Bird's pit. Nothing much doing. There's a guy stood there with his arms folded. Another guy there with his hands on his hips. Not a care in the world. Looking over to the left-hand side. Got marshals. Haven't got a clue what's going on. And all very quiet. See the is that the Mercedes garage? Next one up from Bird. I think we've got Scar and Captain Morgan. Nothing going on in their pits either. Stood about doing nothing. Well, drivers, as I say, will be on track shortly. One shot quali. Evening, Tiny. You all right, Jess? How's that little babby? All right? Hope you're well, pal. Good to hear from you, mate. Well, just waiting for players. It says up in top left-hand corner of your screens, which will give me time to tell you that Fulham and Manchester United are 0-0. Just started the second half in what could be a boring game because we've had 6 shots all first half. 2 shots on target for Fulham, none for Manchester United. Don't know what's happened to United, but not the same anymore. So you're on daddy duty, Jez. Well, I'll have to pull together and hope Mrs. gets better soon. There's a lot going around my area. I don't know if it's the same where you are, but there's a lot of little bugs and nasty little things going around. Anyway, we're going on board with Rookie, currently P13. Doesn't like to give his full 100%, does our Rookie, in practice. But he certainly showed me on Friday night what a good driver he is. With another league. Started at the back with me, and within a couple of laps he was up to P10. Anyway, we're going to go on to the Ferrari of Bushpig, currently leading at the moment. Just been taken over by EXO, but Bushpig brings it back. Just get the map screen on. Everybody on softs, as you can see. Just coming into the penultimate corner now. Bushpig still has fastest lap. Bird now takes over in the Red Bull. Been around the final corner now. Bushpig keeps it tight. and unfortunately just misses out to Bird, who records a 1:15.046. So Uncle Bird gets you the pole tonight. I'll just run through the positions in a minute. Bush Pig, who we're on board with, has got P2. Here is confirmation. We have got Bird in the Red Bull on pole. Alongside him on row 1 is Bush Pig. And then on row 2, we got Captain Morgan No Beard in the Mercedes. Hang on. There we go. And alongside him is Scar, the current Drivers' Championship leader. He's in P4 on row 2. Then we've got EXO in the Haas, row 3, alongside Liam Hardman in the Williams. Row 4, we've got Pivot in the McLaren and MK7H in the Sauber. Row 5, we've got the ERC Blunt in the Visa Cash App Racing Bull, alongside Findwell in the Sauber. PDMB in the Williams was on the 6th row, and I missed out who he was alongside. But as we wait for the cars to go on track for your formation lap, I'm going to run through the Drivers' and Constructors' Championships. With 4 rounds to go, there is 120 points at stake. EXO in 4th. There's a very outside chance of the Drivers' title, but realistically, the chance is between 3 drivers, Scar, Bird and Waldo. Bird's win and Phil's 4th place last week brought Bird to within 11 points of Scar, and Liam's runner-up leaves him 31 behind the leader. 50 points separate 5th and 11th, and if Bird can keep producing top 3 finishes, then the Constructors will be going to the RB. Mathematically, all remaining teams have a chance of making the reserve spot in the Constructors, but realistically, only one of McLaren, Aston Martin, Alpine or Williams can take the runners-up spot, as only 29 points separate 2nd to 4th. But this game has a habit of not going to plan, so it's not over until it's over. That final round, I think is it Silverstone? Is it? I can't remember where it is, final round. But then you can certainly say who's won the championships. But anyway, Drivers' Championship, we have got Scar on 251 points, 11 points ahead of Bird on 240. And he's 20 points ahead of Liam Hardman in P3 on 220. Then we've got EXO on 186, just 3 points behind it. Oh, sorry, 30. No, it isn't. 25 points behind EXO is Business Casual on 161. And there's 9 points to Bush Pig on 152. A further 10 to MK7H on 142. 4 points. Can't read my own writing. PDM Beat on 128, Blunt on 117, Rookie 108, Waldo 105, Smugget on 98, XRT inside 92, Pivot on 90, Captain Morgan on 60. That is your top 15. And in the Constructors, we have got Red Bull on 381 points, and McLaren are behind them with 279. Then just 25 points behind them is the Aston Martin team, and a point separates them from 4th place Alpine, who've got a 3-point advantage over Williams. Sauber just 20 points behind the Williams in P6, and then we've got Mercedes 6 points adrift of Sauber on 224, Ferrari 181, Haas 176, and the Cash Apps 142. So Red Bull, just one driver tonight, Bird, and he has been on his own since the last, I think it was the last transfer window, and he's kept the Red Bull flag flying. And as I say, if he keeps his scores consistent from now to the end of the season, Red Bull will take that championship, which is some feat from Mr. Bird. McLaren, just the one driver tonight, and that's Pivot. If you've had 2 drivers, I would have said they could have, closed the gap a little bit. Aston Martin have just one driver in Smugget, and Alpine have got Business Casual and Rank. Williams with PDMB and Liam have got a good chance of going up the Constructors a bit, because you've got 2 drivers there that are consistent top 10 finishers. Sauber got 2 drivers tonight with Waldo and MK7. So I would say the Saubers are in a very good position. MK7 is and Fine Waldo, both top 3 drivers most weeks. The Mercedes team, they've got 2 drivers tonight. That's Scar and Captain Morgan, and once again they get a good score, and that Mercedes team can rocket up that Constructors' Championship up to sky's the limit, really, with the Mercs who can keep 2 drivers on track for the rest of the season. Ferrari been a bit of a letdown. Bush Pig, the only driver tonight. They're in P8. Haas with Exo and Rookie tonight. You know what? I've got a good chance of taking over the Ferraris. But Cash Apps with just 1 driver tonight. That's Gary Buntblade. I need a miracle, really. That's no disregard to Gary, who's ploughing a lone furrow in the Cash Apps just lately. Hi, Sophie. Hope you're well. Hope the big man's on form tonight. Kenny's Ghost. Hello, mate. All good, pal. Yeah, we've got, as Jez says, we've got a new signing Alpine this week, and that is Rank. He's been drawn in for the last 4 races, and hopefully, like I say, the Alpine team still in a very good chance for getting that runners-up spot. And they've signed a good driver in Rank. Let's hope that him in Business Casual can put the record straight and get Alpine and Mr. Tiny up that leaderboard. Anyway, we're on the formation lap. Let's have a little bit of tea that's going rather cold. Nice mixture of tyres. So here on board with Bird in the Red Bull, he's starting on the hards. If he could get away from the pack, then hards come into their own on 2-3 laps, and he should be one of the favourites for the win. Bush Pig on the mediums, he's got the faster tyre on, hopefully to gain a little bit of time on Bird. Captain Morgan, no beard, first of the Mercedes drivers on the hards, along with teammate Scar. He's starting on the mediums. Exo in P5 and the Haas is on hards, followed by Liam Hardman in the Williams on mediums. Pivot, your new driver for... No, it isn't. Pivot is on his own tonight with the McLarens. He's on the medium tyre, MK7-inch. First of the Saubers in P8 on mediums, Gary Buntblade. Cash App Racing Bulls on hards. Waldo in the other Sauber on mediums. And then we've got PDMB in the Williams, followed by Business Casual in the Alpine on mediums. Smugget is the only driver to start on the softs, and then we've got Rookie, the other Haas driver, starting on hards, with Rank, our new driver for the Alpines, starting in 15th. Anyway, we'll go on board with Uncle Bird. Lights are on, 5 lights are on, and we are away for the Hungarian Grand Prix for round 11. And it's Bird leading them down. Bush Pig, is he close enough? Is he going to be the king of the elite breakers? Yes, he is. On what a move that is. He's got a good exit. Yes, he has. And Bush Pig takes the lead from Bird. Behind Bird, we've got Scar. A little bit of a gap there between Bird and Scar. Bird has a look at the inside of the Ferrari. Unfortunately, doesn't get the exit he needs. And we've got Captain Morgan and Liam alongside the Mercedes. But he's just been passed by Exo. A bit of a lock up of tyres there. They got that's Liam having a bit of trouble there. A bit of a squiff with the tyre connection on Exo. Sauber of MK7-inch is up to P6 now. We've got a yellow flag. I think that's PDMB, or is it Gary Bluntblade? Gary's there in P13. PDMB has lost a lot of ground. Go back up to Bush Pig, who leads them into lap corner number 11 into turn 12, and the penultimate corner before the final corner into start lap 2, but it's Bush Pig ahead of Bird, Scar in P3, and Captain Morgan, the other Mercedes driver, in P4, Exo's P5, MK7 Hitch, Liam, Fine Waldo, Rank Prix, and Smugit are your top 10. Back onto the proper camera, and we're on board with Bush Pig, who leads them out on lap 2 around turn 1 with Bird and Scar. A little bit of a gap then to Captain Morgan in P4, and he will do his best to hold up the rest of the pack. Let teammate Scar attack Bird and Bush Pig. MK7 Itchy's up to P5, Exo's down in P6, and he's got Liam Hardman alongside him coming into turn 5. Here we are, turn 5, in the Sauber of Waldo also sneaking in there, putting his nose in. Not close enough as they come to the chicane at turn 6 and 7. Back up then to Bush Pig, leading them around turn 9 and 10. Turn 11, and Bush Pig 4 seconds up on his previous lap time, showing some good consistent driving is the Ferrari man. After a classic start, taking that inside line at turn 1, taking first place, and he's held on to that first place since. But just to go down in to start lap 3, Bush Pig in the Ferrari from Bird in the Red Bull. Bird records fastest lap of 1:19.6, and look at the speed from the Red Bull going down that start finish straight, and that's Bird back into P1. Pole sitter regains that first position. Bush Pig's in P2 and Scar. Then we've got a 1.5 seconds gap then to Captain Morgan. MK7, Liam Hardman another second away from MK7. Waldo's there with Exo, Smugit and Rank, the top 10. But it's a nice little battle going on for P6, held at the moment by the Williams driver of Liam Hardman. Fine Waldo just behind with Exo. So you can see that it's not taking things lightly. There's plenty of battles going on all over the track. Let's have a look at the battle between Pivot and Gary Buntblade. Cash App Racing Bull against the McLaren, coming around into turn 9. Not quite close enough. Is the Cash App back on board now with leader Bird. Around on the penultimate bend into the final bend, headed into lap 4 of 70. We'll go on board with Bush Pig, see if he can try and close that gap on the Red Bull. Scar not close enough for a move on Bush Pig, coming down into turn 1. Bird still heads from Bush Pig and Scar. MK7 Itch now up to P4 with a move on Captain Morgan. Liam Hardman is there as well with the Sauber of Fine Waldo in close company. Smugit's just got past Exo. Exo going down the pack a little bit. I don't know if he received any damage when he was close. Going around on lap 1 with whoever it was, can't remember. Might have been Liam. Rank, the Alpine is up to P10. Pivot in P11 with Gary Buntblade still up his diffuser. Tried to break a little bit later, and unfortunately didn't get close enough for a move on the McLaren. Business Casual heads Rookie, and PDMB catching up on Rookie after his early exploits that saw him drop down to the back of the pack. So Sophie has got one eye on the NFL and one eye on Phil. It's Bird coming down on to lap 5. Is Scar close enough for the move on Bush Pig? No, he isn't, but Bush Pig goes wide. Scar cuts in. Who's got a better exit? Bush Pig at the moment. Getting every ounce out of that Ferrari. Let's stay on board because this is a nice little battle coming into turn 2 and 3. Good driving there, just pushing Bush Pig out a little bit, but Bush Pig has P2. So this is going to be a battle between these pair. I can see it. MK7 though, a couple of seconds behind them, 2 Jewelers in front of Captain Morgan, Liam, Waldo, Exo and Smugit. The rank seeing out your top 10. Bird has increased his lead to just over a second now. Going around the second checkpoint, second sector, and he's leading the pack. It's now beginning to split up a little bit. We've got Bird in front and Bush Pig and Scar together. Then we've got a little gap then to MK7H, Captain Morgan, Liam and Waldo. Another gap to Exo in P8 with Smudgit, Rank, Pivot and Blunt all in close proximity. 5-second gap then to Business Casual, Rookie and PDMB as Scar and Bush Pig are neck and neck going down into turn 2, which Bush Pig still got his nose in front of. Scar comes on the inside with a cracking move, and that Scar up to P2. Brilliant move from the Mercedes. Now he's down to closing the gap on the Red Bull in front, and Rank has got past Snuggit, and that's the Alpine in the top 10. Oh, cracking move then from Scar. Sees him past Bush Pig, but Bush Pig isn't going to die that easily. Carrying on as MK7H still just under 2 seconds behind in the Sauber from Captain Morgan, Liam and Waldo. And we've just got Exo leading the next gang of Rank, Smudgit, Pivot and Gary Bluntblade. Business Casual is 5 seconds adrift of them with Rookie, and PDMB has caught right up now to within a second and in DRS of the Haas of Rookie. But it's Bird leading them down into the start of lap 7 around the final corner. Bird from Scar will go on board with Scar, see if DRS can help him bridge that gap on the Red Bull, and yes it can. He's going to make the move, is he? He's got the inside line. Bird leaves him plenty of room. Bird gets a cracking exit from turn 1, and then he takes hold of that position. Bush Pig settles into third, MKH, Captain Morgan, Liam, Waldo, and we've got a move there by Gary Bluntblade on Pivot. Pivot demoted now down to P12. Gary is all over the back of the Aston Martin with Smudgit. Will be just a matter of time before that move is made from the cash app. And Rank is your first driver to get a penalty. Gary Bluntblade having a look at the chicane and the Aston Martin. Just be very wary. We'll go back up to your leaders who are getting very close again on board with Scar, looking at the bit behind the Red Bull of Bird. To your normal camera angle, and Bush Pig sticking with them. That gap is increasing between Bush Pig in P3 and MK7H in P4, and Exo still in P8 with Rank, Smudgit and Blunt. Here we go, let's see, on board with Scar with that DRS again on the Red Bull. Gets the inside line, drops a couple of cogs in the gearbox, and Scar holds a lead on lap 8 on to turn 2. On board with Bird in P2. Then we've got Bush Pig looking behind these two. Gary Bluntblade jumps another position at P10, getting past Smudgit. We're on board with Smudgit with Gary Bluntblade just on the outside of Gary. We'll have the inside here. Ooh, and a lot of speed shown from Smudgit. He's pretty close to the back of the cash app. Lifts, and Gary is P10, Smudgit P11, Pivot alongside the Aston Martin. Expect that move and has to lift as the Aston Martin took that curb quite high. Business Casual though, he's got 6 seconds to catch up on Pivot, with PDMB having overtaken Rookie, who's demoted to P15 on board with Scar, with the Red Bull of Bird just behind MK7H. Gap between himself and Bush Pig in P3 has grown to 2.3 seconds. We're on board with Scar. Now we're going on board with Bird to see if his DRS and Red Bull power can get past the Mercedes, and I can say it hasn't. Scar still holds the lead, and Captain Morgan up to P4, so that's Mercedes P1 and 4 as he gets past MK7H, and Pivot has got past Smudgit up into P11, but Smudgit's coming back. But Pivot gets a good exit. PDMB from last up to P13 now within a lap. having a little bit of bad luck on the opening lap, which relegated him down to P15. But by lap 9 he is up to P13 and just 6 seconds to catch on Smugget in P12. Scar then leads the Red Bull through the chicane on to turn 9 and 10. And Bush Pig is in P3, so these three have got a nice handsome gap between them and Captain Morgan Nobeard in P4, but this is a cracking result for the Mercedes. And as I said, pre-race, good result from Mercedes. We'll see them catapult up the constructors, and let's see if they can do it. Right, we're going on board with Bird, who have DRS on the Mercedes, and it looks like move done from Bird, leads him down into turn 1. Having a look from above, and he holds the line and gets a good exit, and that's Bird carrying on with the lead. Nothing's changed except for Blunt has got P9. He runs a little wide, but Rank has a bit of a skid on. Blunt sits in, goes for the inside. Lock up from both drivers, and that's McLaren a pivot, putting his nose in as these three ballot out for P9. Held at the minute by Rank with Blunt and Pivot in close proximity. Mr. Snugget is down in P12, and that gap between himself and PDMB is closed by almost a second. Business Casual and Rookie now losing time on the pack. Back up front, it's Bird and Bush Pig, as you can see, is visibly closer now to the Mercedes of Scar. So this will be interesting down the start-finish straight on lap 11, with Scar and Bush Pig both having DRS on the Red Bull. We go down on board with Scar, watching the gap between himself and Bush Pig, and Bush Pig is getting very close to Mercedes. Thinks twice about the move, has to brake really heavy. Bird holds the lead from Scar. Bush Pig in third, and Captain Morgan 2.5 seconds behind with MK7H Liam Feinwald at EXO. And Gary Bluntblade actually makes it to P9, getting past Rank. And that's Gary on the move up. He's just got 2.8 seconds to catch up on the Haas of EXO. Pivot still in there, just behind Rank in P10. Smugget 2 seconds of drift. PDMB, Business Casual and Rookie make up your field. Back up front then with Bird, and view from the IP helicopter. And he's putting a little bit of a gap between himself and Scar now. If he carries on, he will be out of it. Scar will be out of DRS on Bird. Can he keep within DRS? The Red Bull certainly doing his best to get that second cushion between him and the Mercedes. I don't know whether he has or not, so that could spell trouble for Phil, because the Ferrari will have DRS. Oh, he has got DRS, Phil, sorry, but not close enough in the move on Red Bull. Bush Pig, and we've got Captain Morgan MK7 Liam Waldo EXO. We've got Gary Bluntblade putting a bit of a gap between himself and Pivot, who's up to P10, gets past Rank. That's the LP demoted to P11, and PDMB up to P12 as Smugget goes in the pits and puts on a new set of mediums for the Aston Martin driver. Scar then still close to the back of the Red Bull. Just let, forgive me while just have a drink. Nice battle here for P4, headed at the moment by Captain Morgan with MK7H, Liam Hardman, Fine Waldo, all battling that out for P4. I'll go back up to your leaders around the penultimate corner of lap 12. On to start finishing straight now, and we'll go on board with the Mercedes, Bush Pig and Mercedes, but the Red Bull is certainly in the distance. We'll go down to MK7, which is not making much progress on the Mercedes. Waldo, Exo, Gary Bluntblade closing the gap on Exo. Pivot in P10 with Rank, not far behind. PDMB making his way through the pack, coming in P12. Business Casual, Rookie and Smugget 9 seconds adrift, having been in the pits. But fresh set of medium tyres on the Aston Martin, but it's Bird leads them into the chicane for the 13th time. Scar, Bushpig, we've got Captain Morgan, no bid, with MK7H in the Sauber, Liam Hardman in the Williams, and Waldo in the other Sauber, putting pressure on the Mercedes driver. Exo and Gary Bluntblade getting very close to the Haas. Pivot 2 seconds adrift, but he's got Rank in the Alpine breathing down his neck. We've got a yellow flag. That looks like Liam, and yeah, it's Liam. He's I don't know if he's had a. He's definitely got damage of some sort, but he's refrained from going in the pits. But he's dropped down to P11 now, just ahead of PDMB, his teammate. I don't know what happened there, whether it was some collision with Waldo or MK7. I don't know. MK7H has lost a place or two, so it could be MK7 and Liam had a bit of contact, but don't take that as gospel, as PDMB and Business Casual are swapping positions. Smugget just records the fastest lap of 1:18.7. So them medium tyres working well for the Aston Martin. Bird, as Scar has now put a second between himself and Bushpig in P3. Now, I don't know, I'm wondering how these medium tyres are suffering on this Hungary track. So Bushpig has lost 5/10 to the Mercedes, and we'll go on board with Bird. Scar, I don't think it's close enough for a move. On board with Bird coming down into turn 1 with Scar in the Mercedes and Bushpig in the Ferrari. Captain Morgan no bid P4 with Waldo and MK7H, 2 Saubers P5 and 6 respectively. Exo is P7. Gary Bluntblade is within a second and a half of the Haas of Exo now. Pivots 5 seconds adrift, but he's got Rank all over the back of him. Alpine on his debut for the team in the top 10. Liam's down in P11. Has got the Alpine of Rank in front of him. Business Casual 8 seconds adrift of Liam. PDMB on his move up the field is in P13. Rookie and Smugget is now within 3 seconds of the Haas of Rookie. Back up to Bird. He comes down into turn 12. Ooh. And the leg's gone dead. Now the penultimate corner before he starts lap 16. We'll go back on to normal camera view, and you can see Bushpig has lost a lot of ground to Scar in P2. He's staying out for another lap on the mediums. Scar not close enough to Bird for the move. Bird leads him into turn 1 for the lap 16. Sorry, I'm yawning. It's not because the race is boring, it's because I'm tired. Up to Bird leads from Scar. Bushpig 2.5 seconds adrift now. Captain Morgan has seen blood as the Ferrari in front of him is getting bigger and bigger as he gets closer and closer. We've got a 5-second gap then to find Waldo, and we've got a yellow flag, and I think it's Rank. He's got an end plate missing on the Alpine. Rank down a positions 2 and he's finding it hard, and he's got another full lap to go with that end plate missing. So Liam gets past him and is up to P10. Bushpig 3 seconds adrift now of the Mercedes of Phil Scar. I'd say I'm just wondering whether these MK7H picks up a penalty. Just wondering whether these mediums are going off a bit, and Rank has got his second penalty of the evening, and can't help that with an end plate missing. But Scar stays out for another lap, as does Bush Pig. Mercedes Captain Morgan within DRS of the Ferrari. We'll go on board with Captain Morgan. Is he close enough for a move? Unfortunately, no, but he has definitely closed the gap on the Ferrari. And MK7H gets past Waldo to Sauber, swapping positions up to P5 with MK7H with Waldo in P6. Exo though closing in on Waldo, so hard tyres of Exo could be, and it's PDMB's pitting on 16 Lapo mediums, so my thought is perhaps correct, because the hard drivers are catching up to the medium wearers, shall we say. Captain Morgan is all over the back of Bush Pig, but Scar losing a bit of time to Bird as well. But Master and a certain tyre doctor is Phil. He's not going in this time either. Bush Pig stays out for another. Business. Captain Morgan though is going well up to P4 MK7H and Waldo. Exo though, how much Exo? Captain Morgan has got past Bush Pig on the start finish straight up to P3 is Mercedes P2 and 3. Exo caught up to the back of these two Saubers, as is Gary Buntblade in the yellow flag. That could have been a McLaren of Pivot, who's dropped a lot in P9. Liam's all over the back of him, so we'll go on to that little battle. Rank and Business Casual, two Alpines are in P11 and 12. You need to get up that leaderboard if they can. Bird into the penultimate corner now, with Scar just over a second behind. Still Mercedes stay on track. Captain Morgan in P3, and then we've got Bush Pig in P4 sticking it out for another lap. We've got Hitch, Waldo, Exo and Gary Buntblade. Gary also on the hards has caught up to the pack as well, so we'll stay on board. And we're on board with Waldo, Exo and Buntblade as Liam Hardman gets past Rank. Rank's got past Pivot, sorry. Nice move that from Rank. Picks up DRS and makes a move on the final corner, using that DRS to its full extent. Pivot certainly up to the back of the Alpine. A double DRS for the Alpine, so the flat blows. They are all over the back of the Williams of Liam. Wondering whether Liam is having tyre trouble as well. He's on the mediums. It shouldn't be long before these medium drivers do make the detour into the pits. Here comes Bird on the final corner onto lap 20. Captain Morgan holding out on to P3 with Bush Pig. And we've got the two Saubers of MK7H who's going in the pits. MK7H is your first driver in your leading bunch to go in the pits. And Exo up to P6, Gary Buntblade up to P7. Liam will also inherit P8, I should think. Rank and Pivot battling it out for P9. Rank holds it at the moment. And is Pivot close enough? No. McLaren a little bit later on the braking. Who gets a better exit? And it's the Alpine who pulls away from the McLaren. Not much though. McLaren looking on the inside. No. Alpine holds on to P8. Sky is like a second and a half now behind the Red Bull and Uncle Bird. And say these are 3/4 of a lap ahead of PDMB, who's in P15. So these leaders have got some pace on them. Captain Morgan has 5 seconds dropped behind Scar. Scar's off on another lapper. Captain Morgan, Bush Pigs in the pit, so yeah, 20 laps perhaps is the maximum for the mediums. As Waldo's also in. Will Rank follow suit? No, we won't. Rank's going out on another trip with Pivot. MK7H comes out in P11, chasing down Smuggy and Aston Martin. Waldo pitted for hards. MK7H on the hards, pulls out to the side. That's MK7H up to P9. Business Casuals pitted. And that looks like he'll be putting on the hards. Yes, he has. Bird leads on lap 21. Coming down end of sector 2. And yeah, the tyre whisperer Scar, the only medium tyre driver in your top 5 at the moment. Everybody else has pitted. He's staying out for another lap, and why shouldn't he? Because he's sticking quite close to the Red Bull. Not close enough for a move yet, but he's getting the most out of these mediums. Captain Morgan on the hards, and Gary Bluntblade coming around to start lap 22 ahead of EXO in P5. We've got Bush Pig on fresh hards in P6. Rank on 20 lap old mediums and going in the pits, followed by Izzy Pivot going in as well. MK7H then will move up to P7. Who's that going in pits? That's Pivot, Rank, and Pivot in the pits. Rookie on hards, Liam on fresh hards, PDMB and Business Casual also on fresh hards. Whew. So 22 laps gone. Bird is your leader with a 2.3 second gap over Scar in P2. A gap between himself and teammate Captain Morgan is coming down quite rapidly. Will Scar be heading into the pits? Yes, he is. Captain Morgan then, his teammate will inherit P2. Oh, he's picked up a 10-second penalty. Scar speeding in the pits, and I must say it does catch out this pit at Hungary. It's not sure, but it comes up on him pretty quick. Bluntblade down up to P3 on board with Gary. But EXO just behind him. Bird leads. We'll move up to Bird. Bird down with 7-second lead over Captain Morgan. No beard in P2. 8 seconds then to Gary Bluntblade, who's got EXO within DRS. Scar comes out in P5, just 4.9 seconds behind EXO with fresh hards. He's got a 6 seconds advantage over Bush Pig. MK7H in P7. Fellow Sauber driver Waldo in P8. Smuggy on a faster medium tyre in P9. Liam Hardman 9.5 seconds drift in the Williams in P10. Rookie up to P11. Pivot on fresh mediums in P12. PDMB P13. Rank P14. And Business Casual bringing up the rear. Alpines P14 and 15. Captain Morgan inherits the lead as Bird pits for fresh mediums. Gary Buntblade up to P2. Exo P3. Bird in P4. Just ahead of Scar. Waldo with a 1:18.6. Gets your fastest lap. And that's on 3 lap old hards. So watch Waldo cut through the pack. The Madman, the 1:18.4 on hards. 4 lap old hards. So Saubers going pretty quick. Pivot with a 1:18.4. He's got 2 lap old mediums on. So there's nothing much between the mediums and the hards, to be fair. Go on board with Bird, who's looking at the back of Exo. Right, who's that Mercedes then behind him? Because it says 3.8 seconds. Certainly isn't 3.8 seconds, so there's a cock up there with the lap scoring. Because Scar certainly isn't 3.8 seconds behind the Red Bull. No, he isn't. It's changed now to Scar is leading. The 2, not leading, but he's in P4, but he's leading Bird in the Red Bull in P5, and Bird supposedly on the faster medium tyre. But your race leader, Captain Morgan, no beard, 24 lap old hards, going around into the chicane, which is turn 6 and 7. 25 laps gone off 70. Yeah, not doing too bad, Sophie. I'm quite hoping he's going to be safe car a bit because I'm absolutely dying for a wee. But Captain Morgan doing well on 24 lap old hards. Heat and a half seconds ahead of Blunt, with Exo also on 24 lap old hards. But Scar is all over the back of Exo, and Bird is there as well, as Captain Morgan has pitted on 24 lap old hards. I think somebody else has just gone in the pits as well. Yeah, that was Gary Buntblade. So Scar is your new leader. Yeah, confirmation there with a 1:18.07 for the Mercedes. Bird and Scar continuing their battle on lap 26 of 70. Stay on board with these two, and Exo Blunt have pitted. Not many battles. I got yellow flag, and that is PDMB, I think. Was it? Yeah, PDMB. A bit of a mishap on the penultimate corner. He's has to give up P14 to Business Casual in the Alpine. So as it is at the moment, we've got Scar in the lead with the Red Bull of Bird breathing down his neck. We've got a 6.5 second gap to Bush Pig, who went a little bit wide there. Captain Morgan 3.6 seconds behind Bush Pig. MK7H 2.8 seconds behind Captain Morgan, with other Sauber driver Fine Waldo 2.5 seconds behind MK7 Hits. And we've got a gap of 4 seconds to ERC Blunt, who's got the EXO for company in the Haas. In P9 we've got Smudgate 3 seconds adrift, and Bird has passed Scar on the start finish straight, starting lap 27. We'll have double DRS from turn 1 to turn 2. And I'm going to have to take this opportunity to go to the toilet, I'm afraid, because I am absolutely bossed in. So just bear with me for 2 ticks. Won't be a bit. I don't think I've missed anything because I distorted my neck looking out the bathroom door into the bedroom, and I didn't see any overtakes. But Scar, even though Bird has just done a fastest lap, he's all over the back of the Red Bull. Forgive me for not going elsewhere to looking at the battles, but this is the battle for P1. Just through the chicane on to turn 9. Bird in the Red Bull lead. Scar, Bush Pig, 8.5 seconds adrift in P3. As Pivot picks up his first penalty of the evening. 4 drivers then with penalties. One of them included is Scar in P2, who's got a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane. And he'll bide his time as to when he will use that 10 seconds. Little battle with Blunt and Exo still. Them two have been together for most of the race. Gary Bluntblade has the advantage on the Haas as he start lap 29. Another little battle here with Pivot and Rank. Rank will pick DRS up on the McLaren. But isn't close enough as we're on board with him. Ding 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 as he goes down the gears. Helping stop. Running in the back of Pivot. Rookie up to P13. PDMB, P14 and Business Casual comes alongside the Williams. And that's Business Casual. Has he got the exit he needed? Not quite, because the Williams is still there and have the inside line for turn 2. Business Casual holds on to P14. Bird comes down into the start finish straight. We'll go on board with Scar, see if he can close that gap on the Red Bull. Unfortunate for Scar, he isn't. I think Smugget has caused a yellow flag and he's dropping down the pack. We'll go down to Smugget, see what's happened to the Aston Martin driver and see if there's any damage. Yeah, he has got his left hand end plate missing, so he will struggle on these bends and he'll cut in the pits to replace that wing. Scar though putting some pressure on Bird. 30 laps have gone in this 70 lap race. Exo and Blunt are getting quite close. Go down to that little battle. Cashat Racing Bull or Blunt leads. He's not that far behind Waldo either in P6. It's Exo in the Haas in P8 as Rank picks up, I think that's his 3rd penalty. Rank in P11 and there's a yellow flag and I think that could be Pivot. Could have been. Any damage on that McLaren? Can't see from the helicopter. I don't think there is. No, he's still got his end plates attached. And we'll move up to MK7H in the Sauber in P5. Going around turn 1 into turn 2. Waldo in P6. And we've got Gary Bluntblade and Exo is quite close to the Cashat Racing Bull. Now turns to the outside. Not close enough for the move, but he's putting some pressure on Gary in P7. Nice little battle between these two. We've got PDMB and Business Casual. Business Casual moved up to P12. The Smugget and a Rookie have been in the pits. He'll try and cut down the gap of 12 seconds between himself and Pivot to go on board with Bird and Scar. Scar, the little look then on the inside of turn 3. To turn 4 and 5. This long right-hander into turn 6 and 7, which is your chicane. Go down to Gary Bluntblade and Exo, who are very, very close. This is where Exo does close the gap on the cash app, mainly because he has got DRS, but unfortunately isn't close enough for the mood. A lot tighter line there from Exo, as you saw. Smugget sends us the fastest lap to 1:17.7. We've got Captain Morgan all over the back of the Ferrari of Bush Pig now. See, the Mercedes are on alternative strategies. Scar was medium hard and Captain Morgan was hard and medium. And here he comes going on board with the Mercedes. Pulls alongside the Ferrari. That's moved done by Captain Morgan into P3. So Mercedes again P2 and 3. We'll go down to Exo and Gary Bluntblade. Gary certainly closed the gap on Waldo and putting a little bit there between himself and Exo. On board with Gary, chasing down the Sauber and Waldo. Showing some good speed tonight is Gary. Exo sticking with him. Nice three-way battle on screen at the moment for P6. PDMB and Business Casual though are battling it out. P12 will go down to those in a minute, but stay on board with Gary Bluntblade chasing Sauber. I'll find Waldo. Normal camera angle looking down from turn 12. These two battling it out, and Scar has got past Bird. We've missed that move on the start finish straight, so Scar is your new race leader on lap 34 of 70. Bush Pig and K7H. We've got Waldo and Gary Bluntblade. We're on board with Gary, who's on the left hand side of the Sauber. Now then, who's going to be braver on the brakes? It's Gary, and he gets a good exit as well. That's Gary into P6. Waldo demoted to P7 for the time being. Exo still in with a shout. Going around turn 2 into turn 3, 4, and then you're long right hand at turn 5, leading into chicane turn 6 and 7. So PDMB and Business Casual battling out for P12. Business Casual has the upper hand at the moment for the Alpines, and we're on board with Scar, who seems to have a decent gap between himself and Bird on the start finish line on lap 35. Not close enough. Here's the Red Bull. Captain Morgan and Bush Pig. Bush Pig not quite close enough for that move. K7H, Gary Bluntblade leading Sauber of Waldo. Waldo's not close enough, and neither is Exo. So we'll go down to Business Casual and PDMB. PDMB will pick up DRS on the Alpine. We'll stay on board to see if the Alpine can lead them on to turn 1. So we're on lap 35. That is 50% of the laps completed. Unfortunately, PDMB isn't close enough to the Alpine, and we'll go back on board with Scar, your race leader, who's pulled out quite a considerable gap on the Red Bull as Liam picks up a penalty. Bird isn't close enough, I don't think, to Phil. No, he isn't. So Phil leads him out on lap 36. Captain Morgan has got a Ferrari Bush Pig still within DRS. I don't think Bush Pig is close enough. MK7H in P5 in the Sauber, and then we've got Gary Buntblade and Fine Waldo on board with Waldo. See if he can bridge that gap on Gary. Unfortunately, he can't this time. And then we'll go on to Business Casual and PDMB. Just going to have another little drink on my now cold tea. I don't think PDMB is close enough to Business Casual for the move on the start finish straight on their 36th lap. I just noticed the Haas of Rookie very close to being lapped, but I think this might just give Scar DRS and a bit of a lifeline if he does pick up DRS off the Haas. Yeah, his flap is open, and that's Scar lapping the Haas of Rookie, and Bird has done the same, but that gap is over a second now, well, just underneath a second between Scar in first place and Bird in P2. Captain Morgan still holds P3 from Bush Pig. He's definitely closed the gap a little bit. Bluntblade still got Waldo. The company battling out for P6. Business Casual and PDMB still battling out. Business Casual under pressure now from PDMB, who's a lot closer than he was on the previous lap. Stay on board. The gap between Scar and Bird is 1.7. PDMB not close enough for the move on the Alpine or Business Casual. Rookie chasing down Bird. See if we can get DRS on the Red Bull, but Scar is safe from any DRS damage from the Red Bull because he is extending his lead on lap 38 of 70. Captain Morgan no beard. P3 has got Bush Pig in close proximity. Will pick up DRS. Will Bush Pig, but is he close enough for the move? No, I very much doubt it. No, he isn't. Waldo and Gary Buntblade. Waldo still not close enough to the back of the Cash App. So dropping to 3 seconds behind. Liam Hardman's catching up to the Haas. Now, whether Exo's made a mistake, I don't know. Rank and pivot. As we've got a yellow flag, and that is a Sauber. That's MK7H has dropped from P5 to P7, and he's got an M plate missing as MK7H, and that Exo has got past him, and MK7H is falling back now to P9, 20 seconds of adrift. Well, in front of Rank, who's 26 seconds adrift of the Sauber. So unfortunately, MK7H has had a bit of an incident. To Bush Pig in P4. Closest battle on track at the moment, chasing down the Mercedes of Captain Morgan. Gary Bluntblade, though, has Waldo's company's Scar, has increased his lead to 2.5 seconds. Waldo opens up that DRS flap, but nowhere near close enough to Gary. Or is he? As Liam Hardman gets past Exo. Gary's held off. Gary's held off Waldo, but Liam Hardman gets past Exo up to P7. And the other Sauber MK7H having a new wing fitted and new medium tyres. Pivot gets P10. Sauber in P11 business casual still has the Williams and PDMB for company as they start lap 39. But Phil Scar's got a 2.7 lead, but don't forget he has got a 10-second pen. I'm sure he'll be waiting for a VSC to set out 10 seconds or get a 10-second lead, because he knows Bird and Captain Morgan in P2 and 3 will have to pit before he does. So it's a nice little thing to know and have up your sleeve, is that them two drivers behind you will be pitting before you. Bush Pig all over the back of the Mercedes of Captain Morgan. Gary has pulled up away from Waldo a little bit, over a second. Liam Hardman has pulled over a second on EXO. Pivot still in P10, but as MK7H in the Sauber all over him, and MK7 will pick up DRS on McLaren, and that's moved on for MK7H up to P10. PDMB and business casual still battling out for that P12 position, held at the moment by the Alpine of business casual. The other Alpine of rank is up to P9. Go up to your leader. 3.3 seconds is the gap between Scar and the Red Bull of Bird. Captain Morgan just over half a second in front of Bush Pig. We'll go on board with Bush Pig to see if he can bridge that gap between him and the Mercedes. It's definitely coming down. Whether he's close enough, no, I don't think he is. Brakes and gets a decent exit from turn 1. The Bush Pig still putting Captain Morgan under pressure. Blade putting a bit of gap between himself and Waldo. Liam and EXO rank MK7H within 8 seconds of the Alpine now, and Pivot, business casual and PDMB, they're coming round into the final corner of lap 41, well 40 for them, and PDMB, is he close enough? That gap is coming down. He's having a look, is he? No, he has to brake, but he's still putting pressure on that Alpine. Smugget holding it together in P14, and Rookie 22 seconds adrift of the pack in P15. Scar then 4.4 seconds, that's a second a lap quicker than the Red Bull of Bird now. Like I say, Scar will know Bird will have to pit with Captain Morgan quite soon. Then mediums not lasting, and there goes Bush Pig. We missed, I didn't expect that then. The big red Ferrari passes the Mercedes of Captain Morgan on the straight. Start finish straight, starting lap 42. Gary Bloodblade still has a nice little second advantage over Waldo, and Liam is closing down in P7. EXO's in P8 rank, P9. MK7H within 6 seconds of the Alpine, with Pivot. Business casual still has PDMB in company as they're behind and catching McLaren of Pivot. Now, is business casual close enough to pick DRS on McLaren? No, he isn't, but PDMB is close enough, but unfortunately hasn't got enough start finish straight to make a move, and still settles in behind the Alpine in P13. Scar crosses the line. No, he doesn't. He's passed the line, starting lap 43. And Bird has pitted. He's gone onto the hards, which will see him to the end. Or will it? Still 27 laps to go. Still think he's got a pit again. But he's chosen the hards as Bird. And he's dropped into P5, just ahead of Waldo in P6, and just behind Cat Racing Bull of Gary Bluntblade. So Scar has an 18-second gap, well, 19-second gap now to Ferrari's Bush Pig in P2, with Captain Morgan still there after Bush Pig took him at the start straight a lap ago. Rank loses a position to MK7 Itch. Masters pivot to PDMB and Business Casual. Business Casual up to P10 now, but will have to pit quite soon, as will PDMB. Smug get up to P12, and Rank and Pivot both, well, Pivot almost out of the pits, but will come out ahead of the Haas of Rookie. 19.5 seconds is the gap, and the lead Scar has over Bush Pig. Captain Morgan, though, was still within DRS of the Ferrari. Will go on board to see if he can make any inside of that gap. Unfortunately, he doesn't. Corner comes too quick. Gary Bluntblade has Bird all over him. That's Bird up to P4 already on the hard tyres, and he is 25 seconds behind the Mercedes of Scar. Gary putting pressure on the Red Bull, not letting them have that position without a fight is Gary. Nice little battle beginning between these two. If Gary can keep within DRS of the Red Bull, could see a change of position for P4 on the start finish straight at the end of this lap. Business Casual and PDMB still battling it out. Still PDMB can't bridge that gap on the Alpine. 20 seconds is your gap Scar's got on Bush Pig. Captain Morgan, Bird, 24.5 seconds now behind Scar. Just thinking if Scar can make another 2 laps. Captain Morgan pits on 19 lap old mediums. If Scar could last another couple of laps, he can go on the medium faster tyre for the last 20 laps. We don't know. It'll all unfold when it's finished. It's all over when it's over. When that checkered flag goes down, like I said in the prelims before the race, this game can throw anything up. Gary Bluntblade still within DRS of Bird, but that gap is growing every rotation of the wheel. Exo in the pit, put fresh hards on as that Captain Morgan, no beard. MK7 Itch starts lap 45 in the Sauber. Business Casual still PDMB, can't get close enough for the move on the Alpine. His rank is up to P12. And he got past Smug Gits, 15 lap old mediums, Pivot, still 12 seconds ahead of Rookie. Scarvin 21.5 seconds ahead of Bush Pig. The gap between him and Bird is shortening to end of sector 1, and he's only 3/10 slower than his first sector 1 time, so not really much losing on the tyre grip really. Bush Pig 21 seconds adrift, Bird 2.7 seconds adrift of the Ferrari. Gary Bluntblade has dropped to 2.5 seconds behind Bird, and will have to pit quite shortly for new tyres. Waldo on 25 lap old hards, and Liam also on 26 lap old hards. We'll have to pit pretty soon. Captain Morgan will inherit a few positions then, as will Exo. MK7 Itch having the best of races in P9. Business Casual is quite close to MK7 now. So we've got a 3-way battle for P9, held up at the moment by MK7 Itch with Business Casual and PDMB. Smug Git pits for a new set of hards, which will see him to the end. Sauber of MK7 Itch though holding on to P9. Business Casual trying his best to come back on the Sauber. PDMB is there for company come on to that battle in a minute, because Bird is getting quite close to the back of the Ferrari of Bush Pig. And that gap coming down with every rotation of the wheel. That won't be long before Bird is passed, but MK7H, Business Casual and PDMB coming down into start finish straight in a moment, as Bird and Bush Pig are close, and down into the past the chicane into turn 9. But we'll have to go on to that Bird and Bush Pig battle for P2. MK7H has dropped down to P10 and 11 back and 2 as they DRS'd down that start straight, but PDMB up to P9, Business Casual P10, MK7H P11, and your fourth car in that battle is Rank. Bird still behind Bush Pig, but now he's passed on the start finish straight on lap 48. Now he's chasing down the 22.5 seconds to Scar, who's leading, has yet to pit. And we'll have a dabble at that battle for P9, which is held at the moment by PDMB as Smugget picks up a penalty. First of the evening. K7H is in P12 now. Having a great race is the Sauber driver. Very uncharacteristic of him. K7H is one of the best drivers in ERC. But it's PDMB on P9, Business Casual P10, Alpine teammate Rank in P11, MK7H so dropping. Must have underfloor damage of some sort, because very uncharacteristic position for MK7. Pivot in P13, which will get P14, and a rookie in P15. Bird with the fastest lap of 1:17.4, 22 seconds is the gap between himself and Scar, who's just coming in to turn 5. As Rank gets past Business Casual, I think. No, did he? No, it's Captain Morgan who's passed Fine Waldo, who's gone in the pits on to fresh mediums. But your leader is Scar in Mercedes. I think that's MK7H in front of him. Scar will pick up DRS, I should think, on the Sauber. Let's turn on board to see if he does. Gap between himself and Bird is 21.7 seconds. I didn't see Scar's flap open, but he's past MK7 now and leads lap 50 of 70. So he has got that 10-second penalty, unfortunately, that's burdening him at the moment. 21.2 seconds is the gap between Scar and Bird. The Bush Pig 4 seconds adrift in P3. Gary Bluntblade though 2.5 seconds behind Bush Pig. Bush Pig will have to pit shortly, as well as Liam Hardman in the Williams in P5. Captain Morgan though will see them tyres out to the end, I'm pretty sure. With Waldo on fresh mediums in P7, Exel P8, Rank P9. PDMB then in P10, Business Casual P11, MK7H, Pivot, Snug Git and Rookie. "20 seconds is the gap between Scar and Bird. Scar just coming around the final corner, and as cars in front of him, I'm sure they will pull to one side. We've got a yellow flag, and that's the McLaren of Pivot. Had a bit of a incident at turn 13. Aston Martin or Smugget will pick up DRS, but he's not close enough for the mood of business casual. Pits onto fresh set of mediums to see him out towards the end of the race, and that's a Red Bull or Bird behind him. There's Bird, just 20 seconds is the gap as Liam pits on 30 lap old hards, and he'll be putting a set of mediums on, I should think, to see him to the end. Yes, it does. Still 20 seconds the gap between Scar and Bird. Waldo up to P6. Liam going in the pits. So just a handful of drivers I think will have to pit. One is Rookie, and we've got PDMB. I think Gary, Bushpig and Phil will all have to pit, I'm pretty sure. Perhaps holding on for a safety car, but he's inside the 20 seconds now. Is Bird on Scar. Getting quite tense now, and the closest battle on track is Pivot and Smugget. Just up, going around turn 2, and Blunt is into P3 as Bushpig pits. Gary will have to pit soon as well because he's on 26 lap old hards. Captain Morgan, I don't think we'll have to pit again, but Bushpig has put a fresh set of mediums on. So P5, 6 and 7 are all on freshish medium tyres. Driver Bushpig gets out in front of Waldo, who's on 3 lap old mediums. Liam's in P7 on 1 lap old mediums. We've got EXO rank. PDMB on 34 lap old hards. Seen the good life of 34 laps. I think that's the most we've seen on the hard tyres, and he's going out onto lap 35. Still 19 seconds of gap. It's coming down perhaps a tenth every half a lap between himself and Bird. 19 seconds is the gap. Gary Buntblade in P3. Out for another lap. Not time to pit yet. I'll go and have a look at the split on Gary, see how far he is down on his time on his fastest lap. Captain Morgan in P4 with Bushpig P5. Just go up to Gary because he's coming around for a split in a corner 2's time. We'll see if how much time he has lost on his fastest lap. Liam Hardman with the fastest lap, 1:17.2, and here's your split on Gary. So he's only a tenth down on his fastest lap, so no reason for him to pit just yet. 27 lap olds. Scar is 8 tenths slower on his fastest lap at the moment. He's going out for another lap on the hards, and that gap is just 17.9 seconds now between himself and Bird. Blunt is 10 seconds adrift. Captain Morgan 9 seconds adrift of Gary, as is Bushpig on Captain Morgan 9 seconds. But Waldo on 4 lap old mediums is chasing down a Ferrari. And we'll get within DRS on that start finish straight. Liam Hardman is 3 seconds behind Waldo in the Williams, as EXO holds P8 from rank, 13 seconds behind him. 20 seconds behind rank is Pivot. He's got MK7 it and Smugget battling out for that P10 position. Go on to Bushpig and Waldo. Liam Hardman sets fastest lap at 1:16.6. Waldo isn't quite close enough to the Ferrari for the move. Liam, like I say, fastest lap, just 3 seconds adrift of Waldo. And it's lap 54 of 70, just 16 laps to go. Smugget gets fast MK7 itch. for P11. And the Red Bull of Bird behind these. So Bird will pick up DRS from these cars in front. He passes Hitch. And then passes the Aston Martin of Smugget. "15 seconds is the gap between Scar and Bird. If he can keep, he's going to have to pit. What I was thinking then, if he can keep within 10 seconds, it's job done. But that gap is coming down with 15 laps to go. I say it's possible, but you can't see them hards lasting much longer. 32 lap old hards at the moment. And there he goes in the pits, where I think, will he sit out his 10 seconds? I don't know. Let's stay on board and have a look. Yeah, he's seen out his 10 seconds. Waiting for these fresh hards to go on. And there's Bird fast now and is in first place going down into turn 1. And Scar will come out in P2 as Gary Bluntblade pits. And I think that is it for pit stops. Now I think everybody is on tyres to the end, and it's 15 seconds the gap between Bird and Scar, so that pit stop has cost Scar 30 seconds. Gary Bluntblade down into P6, 7. I think he'll get out before Exo. Yes, he will. So Gary in P7 will try and chase down the Williams of Liam. As PDMB is on the softs, gets past MK7 Hitch. The MK7 must have some body damage to that Sauber. PDMB put 7/10 between them within 2 corners. So we'll keep an eye out on that gap between Scar and Bird. It was 15 seconds. It's just under 15 now. So it's going to be interesting these last 13 laps. The only battle on track at the moment is for P4 between Ferrari's Bushpig and the Sauber of Fine Waldo. And they're just coming in. Ooh, Waldo lost the front end a little bit there. Going into the penultimate corner now. I'm sure Waldo will pick up DRS. Yes, he does. So we'll go on board with Waldo, chasing down that Ferrari in front of him. Down to 7/10, 6/10, 5/10. And unfortunately, not close enough is Waldo. Currently down in P11 in the championships. But these points he'll gain tonight, we'll see him move up a little bit, maybe a position to 2. 14 seconds is the gap now between Scar and Bird. It's going to be close. It is going to be close because 13 laps, them hards of Birds will be screaming at 27 laps. And also 14 lap old mediums should be just in their prime. Well, this is going to be close and very, very interesting. I mean, Scar doesn't really have to, his fastest lap 1:16.2 from Scar, doesn't really have to win this race to keep hold of the lead, but the win would actually increase his lead over Bird with 3 races to go. Although not close enough again to Bushfig. So that gap between Scar and Bird is down to 13.5 seconds. Quick look at penalties. we have got 3 seconds for Liam, 9 for Rank, 3 for Pivot, 3 for Smugget, and 3 for MK7H. And position changes, we've got Scar up 2, Waldo up 5, Blunt's up 2, Rank's up 6, Smugget up 2, and your losers, Bush Pig down 2, Exo down 3, Pivot's down 3, PDMB down 2, MK7H is down 6, and Lucky down 1. Lap 59. And Bird just 13 seconds the gap now to Scar. Bird around turn 2 and 3. And Scar has just come round turn 1. 12.5 seconds is the gap. Liam Hardman has gone out of DRS on Waldo. But that is your closest battle on track at the moment. On board with Bird though. Scar coming into the chicane now. A couple of back markers that could come in useful for DRS for the Mercedes. Liam though inside second on Waldo as he's coming round into turn 5. Liam definitely screwing the neck, as you say, of that Williams, trying to catch the Sauber of Waldo. Stay on board with this battle. These two will be starting lap 60 in a couple of corners time. Down to 10 laps to go, and the gap between Bird and Scar is 12 seconds. Liam though right up the rear axle of the Sauber, and we'll go on board with Liam as they pick DRS up on the Sauber. Let's see if we can make the move up to P5 for the Williams, and it looks like it. It pulled alongside a bit later on the brakes. Waldo trying to keep with the Williams. Ooh, runs a little bit wide. Does the Williams, but luckily for enough for him, the Sauber does too. And this is battle on between these two for that P5 position. If Waldo can keep within 3 seconds of the Williams, that P5 will be his, as Liam does have a penalty. The gap between Scar and Bird is 11.3 seconds. Bird just going around turn 1, Scar just going past the start finish line as we're watching this little battle unfold. And look at Gary Bluntblade. Gary up in P7, looking all over the back of the Sauber. He will get DRS on the Sauber. The Sauber will get DRS from Liam, so we'll go on board with Gary. He isn't quite close enough to Waldo. They're closing in on Liam. Gary definitely closing in on Waldo. On turn 2 and 3. The gap between Scar and Bird now is 10 seconds, 10.8. Bird will be starting his 62nd lap in 2 turns time. But, wow. Good lap. The Sauber of MK7 Hitch does Liam, Waldo and Gary Bluntblade. Liam not far off the back of the Ferrari now either. Liam on a charge. Currently P3 in the championship, Liam, so he needs a good position and a good all the points to keep of any chance of putting pressure on Bird and Scar at the head of the Drivers' Championship. We will go on board with Gary Bluntblade, who takes Waldo up to P6 for the Cash App Racing Bull driver. Now he's got Liam in his sights. Liam has got that 3-second penalty, which will certainly be ringing in Gary's ears. Gary is in P10, P9 actually in the championship, so these points will come in very handy for him. And a good race is Gary, and the gap still 10 seconds, but look at P2 and 3, both Mercedes, and this will see them flying up the Constructors' Championship. I'm pretty sure. Scar then just on the start finish straight as Bird is around turn 1, so the gap as it was the previous lap. And there's Gary up to P5. We've got past Liam on the start finish straight for the 63rd time. Into the top 5 goes the Cash App. Sorry about that, coughing down the mic. These hard tyres of Bird will be going off a little bit now, and perhaps the mediums coming into their own on lap 7. Just 10 seconds is the gap now between Bird, who's coming around into the start of lap 64. Remember the previous lap Bird was just going around turn 1 when Scout was going over the start finish straight, and that's the scenario we're seeing again. Still 10 seconds the gap. Gary Bluntblade still holds P5 and is only 1.9 seconds behind Bush Pig in P4. Been a hell of a drive for Gary. Don't think Liam is close enough for the move. Certainly bridged the gap a little bit, but Gary Bluntblade has got that Ferrari there in front of him. As there's a yellow flag where I can't see no yellow flag. It might have been rank. Might have been. That yellow flag has gone out, and Scar is just 9.8 seconds behind Bird with 6 laps remaining. Pivot going down start finish straight, 14 seconds advantage on PDMB, but Business Casual there trying to come down as PDMB pits on 10 lap old softs. And Business Casual up to P11. Valuable points to the Alpine team, who are in P9 and 11 at the moment. To 9.2 seconds is a gap between Scar and Bird. Bird's going around turn 5 now into the chicane at 6 and 7. 9 seconds a gap, 5 laps remaining. Whether these tyres will start to go off of Birds, I don't know. That is a question on everybody's lips. 8.9 is the gap now. Gary Bluntblade just 3/10 behind Bush Pig as they're running down into the chicane for the 65th time. So Bird starting lap 66, and where Scar is definitely a bit closer as he passes the start finish flag as Bird takes turn 1. It's down to 8.8, but Gary Bluntblade is the man on the charge, and we pick up DRS on the Ferrari. Liam, unfortunately, 2 seconds behind Gary, so will not benefit from any DRS from any other car. And there is Gary past Bushpig into P4. And Gary certainly having a fantastic drive in the Cash App. .5 seconds is the gap between Bird and Scar, as Gary has put a second between him and Bushpig already. Well, it's 8/10. As they come into the chicane. Bird starting lap 67. On to Scar as he passes the start finish flag now. Bird is on the apex of turn 1, so unless something happens drastically to Bird, I can't see Scar getting that P1 place on the podium, but certainly not disgraced. And the P2 will do him fine and will hold him still in the lead of Bird and Liam, who's in P6 at the moment. We're getting close to the end of this quite epic race at Hungary. I mean, we've had gaps between the drivers, but we've always had a battle to show on screen. That's Gary Bluntblade holding on to P4, and he's only 3.3 seconds behind the Mercedes of Captain Morgan. So, could we see Gary jump another place? Just hope he don't burn them tyres out. Gap between Bird and Scar now is 6 seconds. Bird is round turn 1 and Scar is entering turn 1. So it's getting close. Definitely getting close with 2 laps remaining. Well, just over 2 laps remaining. Oof, still not over. It's still not over. Gary has put a second between himself and Bushpig as his yellow flag, and that's McLaren of Pivot, who's lost his front wing. And thank God doesn't cause a safety car, because that would have mungled everything up. But I think Liam has got hold of P6 now, as he's put his penalty gap between himself and Waldo sparingly. Pivot back on track, but I think a visit to the pits is needed. Gary just 2.6, well, Scar's only 6 seconds behind Bird now, 2 laps remaining, 6.4, but Gary is only 2.9 behind the Mercedes of Captain Morgan. Both of them will be in the same picture. There, look, there you go, there's Gary just around the penultimate corner. There's still a yellow flag, and who's that? That is the Alpine of Rank. Spins at turn 5. But, everything intact for the Alpine. I don't think he's lost any positions with that spin. Hold on to P9. Scar then is still 6.3 seconds behind Bird, as Bird will start the final lap with 2 corners to go. And Gary, I think, has lost a couple of tenths to Captain Morgan there. I didn't see who had set the fastest lap there. Actually, there was somebody flashed up and I didn't quite find it But Bird is on his final lap. Scar is 2. And it's 6 seconds. I can't see that gap being overhauled as good as Scar is. Bird took pole and is only 8 corners away from taking the race victory here at Hungary. Liam catching up to Butch Pig for P5. Gary is losing ground to Captain Morgan now. I think his tyres perhaps given up. He is stuck behind the Aston Martin of Smugget, but he soon put that to bed. As we go on board with Bird, who takes the checkered flag. No, he doesn't. Yes, he does. Bird with the win. Very well deserved win from Scar, who tried all he could to take that win from Bird. Both had an exceptional race. Captain Morgan then coming over for P3. And Gary Bluntblade takes P4. And the driver of the day for me, Bush Pig, P5. Liam will get P6 with Waldo P7. Exo will take P8. I'm pretty sure Rank will hold on to P9. I'm pretty sure there's one more corner to go. But a cracking race here at Hungary. Won by Bird in the Red Bull with the Mercedes of Scar in P2. And the Scar of Captain Morgan No Beard in P3. So the Mercedes will jump up that Constructors' Championship by 2 or 3 at the least. Yeah, the game does agree with me and gives Gary Bluntblade the driver of the day. And the Alpines, cheered on by their manager on the sidelines. There's Bird with the win, with the 2 Mercedes either side him, Scar and Captain Morgan. And we'll just give you clarification of MK7H with the fastest lap, and it's a 1:15.579. But there's Ulace winner. Bird is P1 with Scar P2. Captain Morgan No Beard P3. Bluntblade P4 and driver of the day. P5 Bushpig, P6 Liam, P7 Waldo, P8 Exo. Rank with P9 from Business Casual in the Alpine. P10, so that's 9 and 10 for the Alpines, and 27 points plus the whatever clean racing points you get will be a nice little haul for the Alpine. Smugget with P11, PDMB P12, and I didn't catch the rest. But smashing, cracking race, and I'm going to have a rest now for a bit. But join us on International Paddock on Tuesday night with SRC F2 at Portugal, and on Wednesday we're with ERC again with the managers at Zandvoort. Thursday we'll see F1 with SRC at Portugal and ERC's 100 at a track to be arranged on Thursday night. Friday we've got UCR at Qatar, and Saturday we have RFL at Barcelona, and then the Masters with ERC on Sunday at Zandvoort will complete your week's viewing on International Paddock. Well, I hope you've enjoyed that as much as me. Thanks very much for joining me, and I'll see you all very soon. Thank you very much, and it's good night. God bless from myself. Bye bye for now.